All right, guys. So today we have Netflix earnings dropping at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the real question is, do I want to sit around until 6 p.m. to stream the earnings call? I can, but that's the real question. Hey, what's up, Arthur, Fish, Liv, Adele? Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, that's the question is, do I want to sit around? The actual earnings drop in 30 minutes. You can see Netflix actually taking a little bit of a hit today, down to 240.40s. Maybe we should have stuck around trading the market, but yeah, it looked like we had a nice little trend. I don't know why I lost this morning. Market looked like it was trending well enough through all that. We also have United Airline earnings today. Hey, what's up, Steak? When VIX goes up, stocks go down. Hey, those volatility ETFs, bro. Those volatility ETFs, man. Yeah. Numbers will be bad, but good outlook as they add ads. I'm getting lucky with options, and your advice not to be a gambler has made me manage my risk in such a way I'm up 2K for the week. Hey, nice, Arthur. Thank you, brother. Swing trade for tomorrow. Hey, good luck, Joel. Netflix is showing signs of little to no follow through candlesticks. Up to you, Bang. All you, bro. No idea, man. Y'all swinging Netflix. I don't know. Let's do a poll. Let's see what we got. See what we say here. Bullish or bearish on Netflix. This is the Q3 earnings. Let us know if you're bull or bear. We're gonna do a poll as we always do. Bull or bear. Let us know if you're gonna. Let us know what you guys think. Bull or bearish from Netflix Q3 earnings report and call. Expectational numbers for Netflix are 211 EPS. So EPS is profitability. Remember, Netflix drops theirs right at 4 p.m. United Airlines drops theirs at 4:30. So we will have about 2.5 hours from now until the actual earnings call starts. It's the only reason I'm like, Markets rally while 10-year yield is going beyond 4% of Netflix goes. Let's do our Twitter poll as we always do. Do me a favor, hit the like button on your way in. We are getting our Twitter. All right, guys. We're going to make this poll length 2 hours here. 2 hours and 30 minutes to be exact, heading into their actual earnings call. We got our poll live. If y'all want to vote on the poll, we appreciate it. All right, so let's check out both in the chat here. So y'all swinging Netflix, learn about commitment of traders report. How's everyone doing out there? What's up, Pawn? Markets rally when 10-year yield is going beyond 4%. If Netflix goes, so will market, and we will have another. Yeah, it's too political for me to even say. Hey, good luck, man. So many people must have left Netflix subs this year the same way. We can grow quick. They can lose quick too. I know, but here's the thing, right? Here's my argument. I'm sure some people left Netflix, but they're also charging more per prescription or per subscription. I mean, so they are charging more per subscription to Netflix. That's just an objective fact that came out sometime over the last few months. They did announce that they're charging more. That's one thing. Okay. Number two, they're producing higher quality content. I think that's objectively true. Historically, they never really produced content like they are now. You know, people say, "Oh, Netflix is bad" or whatever it is, but like if you look at it objectively over the last few years, they are producing higher quality content than they ever have. Historically, they would license out movies that were good, but now they're producing their own. And so while their own self-produced content might not be comparable to the true content that they had that they were licensing out historically, I think that there's an argument there for that being a bullish sign moving forward, because I think over time they're only going to get better and better with their self-produced content. And in that regard, it could be an optimistic thing moving forward. Um, now, with that said, I think we don't really know what we're going to get here for Netflix. We don't know. I don't know if we're going to go up or down. I don't know what kind of numbers we're going to get. I think it's all going to be relative to their guidance numbers. I think they can drop whatever for EPS and sales revenue, but I think it's all going to be relative to their guidance numbers. I think their guidance numbers are going to be the more influential number here. And that's what I'm going to be specifically looking for. And that's what we're going to be reporting here at Beginner Trading like we always do. So again, we're going to be looking at guidance numbers. If you're looking up the earnings yourself, which you won't need to because we're going to report it all here, look for C's. Netflix C's blank, right? When you see C's in the earnings language, that means that is their guidance numbers. Okay, just to give you some understanding on how you read earnings reports, that is how you read them. If you see C's, that means that is future projection or guidance numbers. All right, so that's what we're going to be paying attention to here. I think it's going to be highly influential over movement. And yeah, we'll see if we get something good. We'll see though. It's the bottom when everyone and their mother-in-law is betting on markets going lower. Despite today, I see long-term value in the stock. I think the industry has stabilized on the main market. These companies have dug trenches and are waiting for the smoke to clear. 100%. I think they're down incredibly large amounts over the past year. And so with that, I think if there is extension, it's on the downside for sure. And I think earnings reports and companies as a whole do a good job of balancing things. And I think that's something we might see today. I think we might see a surprise bull action from this earnings report, as long as their guidance numbers are good, which I think that there's an argument for them to be good. So I tend to agree. I think we're going to go up if I had to pick a direction. But again, at the same time, I have no idea. I might be wildly wrong. Maybe Netflix just crashes down. Not an investment professional. Don't sue me. Okay. I have no idea what Netflix is going to do. But if I had to guess, I'm going to guess it's going to go up. Hey, what's up, Tony? Disney 9850. Great call at 91. Hey, thank you, Joshua. Yeah, man. Disney's my machine. That's my favorite, bro. Up nicely today on Disney as well, even with this drop, man. I'm still sitting pretty in Disney right now. Best part is we all know Netflix is going to be used as a yeah. SPY starting to head back up. We can watch the dollar index as well if you guys want to see another factor like that. We're also going to send our we're also going to be sending this to our newsletter. Join our newsletter. It's completely free to join. It's at beginnertrading.net/members. Again, completely free to join this newsletter. There's a newsletter right there. We send out links to all the big stuff that we drop here. And we are going to be sending out our newsletter today. All right, guys. So remember, today we do have Netflix earnings. We're going to be dropping those in chat. Do me a favor, hit the like button as well if you haven't yet. All right. All right, guys. So Netflix is at about 241 right now. And again, the expectational numbers are as follows here. Expectational numbers for Netflix, they're expecting EPS, which is, again, if you don't know earnings, it's profitability. When you hear EPS, think profitability. How profitable is this company? EPS, earnings per share, is expected to come in at $2.11 per share. Remember, earnings are all relative to expectations. And so it really depends on what the expectational numbers are. A company can lose 100 million, but if they expected to lose 300 million, they're still going to react positively from an earnings report. So that's the first thing to understanding, these earnings report reactions in the stock market is what their expectational numbers are. And for Netflix, the EPS is expected to come in at $2.11 per share. If we're looking at sales revenue, there's usually two main metrics in terms of historical earnings report data, and it's EPS and sales revenue. Sales revenue is at 7.84 billion. Anything over that is going to be considered an earnings beat. Anything over 211 EPS is going to be considered a earnings beat as well. And so if one is positive and one is negative, it's mixed. If both are positive, it's an earnings beat. If both are negative, it's an earnings miss. And so again, we'll see what happens. SPY up there, Netflix at 240s. Oh man, my bad, guys. I'm listening to music over here. You guys aren't. Sorry. Let me know if you can hear the music. Hey, thank you, Pawn. Sorry, brother. Music's on. So I've been listening to music this last few minutes here. So again, Netflix up to 241.20s. We got about 20 minutes. Hey, what's up, David? It's gonna be all about how many subscribers they add. Yeah, that's certainly relevant as well. Looking at the poll so far in the last 5 minutes, we got about 65 votes on the poll. 69% of people think put options. 31% think call options here. So thank you to everybody that shared the poll. Again, we got about 65 people on the Twitter poll. On the YouTube poll itself, we got about 83 votes so far. And y'all vote on the poll. We're actually pretty split down the middle in regards to these results on the YouTube poll. About 83 votes in the last 10 minutes or so, and 51% are bullish, 49% are bearish on Netflix here. So again, we will see if we get something good here. I'm personally excited to see what we're going to get with this. Can't hear it. Can you hear the music? Yeah, so we'll see how many subscribers they add for Netflix here. Let's look into it a little bit more detail with this. All right, so Netflix is launching an ad-supported tier for $7 a month beginning on November 3rd. The new lower-priced ad-supported tier is the primary opportunity for total addressable market and APRU, which is average revenue per unit accretion in developed markets. So again, there some of the biggest complaints for Netflix has been that they are too expensive relative to what their historical prices were. And so we'll see if this ad-supported tier for $7 a month, which is essentially, from my understanding, going to be similar to Hulu, I think they're copying Hulu a little bit in this regard, because Hulu, if you don't know, has an option for ad-based viewing. You can pay like $6 or $7 a month, and you're gonna have ads in between your stuff. And I think that is a more convertible subscription model. And just to tell you the logic behind this, okay, in terms of marketing, you're gonna have a certain amount of people who would never start their subscription at the higher tier. They're never going to start it at $20 a month, essentially, right? But you're still going to get some growth in that, because you're going to have people that sign up for the $7 a month ad version, and then eventually just be like, F this, I hate ads. I'm going to buy the expensive one, right? That is certainly going to be a funnel into the larger subscription models, 100%, no question, as well as the added revenue from the $7 a month ad supported or ad system anyway. And so I think that's a good move for Netflix. I think it's a smart move. I think they're copied off of Hulu a little bit, and I think I think we might get some interesting stuff from that. They're expected to add around 1 million subscribers. Lowest price ad version is also $7.20. Is it really? It's only $7.20. I don't know if that's a good idea. I think they should leave it 1080p or whatever it is. Maybe take away 4K, but don't make it 720. That's nothing, What's the news for Apple today? All right, so Apple is sliding and pulling NASDAQ with it, apparently. Sheesh, man. So yeah, Apple is down after reports on the iPhone 14 production cuts after unveiling the new iPad Pro and Apple TV 4K earlier today. Again, iPhone 14 production cuts making people skeptical regarding Apple here. Apple's hurting the market a little bit, dropping down to 143s. What do you guys think of that Apple news? Again, Apple here. Again, we got about 15 minutes before the actual Netflix earnings drops. Apple cuts iPhone 14 production in less than 2 weeks after the debut. I told people what it was, man. I told people during that Apple thing that they didn't have enough like updates. Like, I don't think Apple should produce a new phone every year. I think it's going to make them come out with news like this. I think they should only produce a new phone when they have broad updates, and they're charging roughly the same for the old phone anyway. And so I think they should just only debut new phones when there is actually justifiable updates to debut a new phone for, because what happens is that they end up kind of grasping at straws, trying to, sell something that is very difficult thing to sell, because it just doesn't have enough upgrades relative to the previous model to justify buying the newest one, if that makes sense, right? And of course, we're gonna have some Apple fanboys that are like, nah, bro, they have this new dynamic typing or something obscure, and I get it, but again, that's just how I would do things, and I'm not Apple, so. Yeah, usually it includes all of that stuff. They lost 200,000 subscribers in the last quarter, and they lost 970 first quarter this year. I remember the 971. That one tanked the market dramatically here. The 970,000 loss dramatically dropped markets. I don't know. I don't think Apple is necessarily associated with wealth. I think it's associated with young people. From my experience, I got a 13-year-old daughter. It's certainly her friends are not getting Samsungs. You know what I mean? That's for sure. But my phone was more expensive than the Apple phone that my daughter has and my phone was more expensive than my wife's phone. And so I don't think it's necessarily a wealth thing. I think it's more of a young people thing. I think Apple's done a really good job of getting group messaging and making it exclusive for young people. And in that regard, young people want to have group messaging with their friends, and they don't want a Samsung because they don't want to get excluded from group messaging that their friends are doing. With young people, it's about exclusivity, and I think that's what is powering Apple right now is young people. Yeah, what Netflix messed up, what Pawn's saying is absolutely true here. One of Netflix's largest mistakes is that they basically came out saying that they were going to target password sharing, which I just think is a bad move. I don't think you even need to announce that. I said this last time. I said this as soon as they came out with it. Why are you announcing that? That. What did they think was going to happen? Did they think it was going to evoke a positive reaction here by announcing, oh, we're going to crack down on password sharing? Of course not. Of course not. People are going to say, okay, well, screw Netflix. Let's short it. That's exactly what's going to happen here. And so they should have just cracked down on it. They don't need to announce that to the public. Just do it. What's the point of announcing that like during earnings? Apple started to move back up some. Never understood that either, Pawn. Just weird. Y'all can hear the music, right? Let me know. You should be able to. You see Apple popping up too. We'll see how the SPY reacts to everything here. Remember, guys, the Apple numbers drop exactly at. The Apple numbers drop exactly at, or the Netflix numbers drop exactly at 4. I went to college for marketing. It's 100% wealth. Your daughter and you're middle class. Maybe so. But again, I'm telling you, regardless of any of that, regardless of what we are or anything like that, in my opinion, it's youth is what Apple has. Apple has youth, and they have it through exclusivity of group messaging, in my opinion. But again, it's all good. It's a subjective interpretation. I mean, it's all good. We could agree to disagree, but I think it's youth. I think, of course, I think the wealthy use Apple for sure. But I think upper class and greater is a small percentage of what really builds Apple's business. And again, I think it's youth. I think it's young people. I think it's kids and teenagers who want to stay included in the group messaging. I think Steve Jobs and now Apple as a whole has been a very exclusivity driven company. If you look at how they design things, even in their early computers, it was all based off of exclusivity. And I think now with young people, especially, Google certainly wants a cut of that group messaging, but Apple made it exclusive to the iPhone. And so what do young people have? Young people have iPhones. What do young people with iPhones do? They group message. What can you not do on a Samsung or another phone outside of Apple? You can't be in those group messages if it's Apple related. And so again, that is certainly a huge part of their marketing strategy. And that was certainly intentional. Yeah. What do you think? Up or down? All good, Arthur. And like I said, I get that side too. I think we both agree with each other, to be honest. I think we just both have different views of it. And it might be something where like the wealthy are able to pay for phones for their kids more so. You know what I mean? And so, we might both be right. It's all good, man. But yeah, Netflix down to 241s, under 241s. We'll see if it pops. I don't know, dude. And again, I think I'm biased. I have this $1,700 Z Fold, and so which is a Samsung, which is far more than an Apple product. So I think I'm biased in that way too, Apple has thought out integration with all devices. 100%, man. Yeah, they certainly do. All right, 7 minutes, guys. 7 minutes. Bro, I'm so excited, dude. The contractors are finally done with my room. I'm not going to be specific here as well. But oh, never mind. It's all good. Yeah, for sure. Well, I think it's also the U.S. market, Arthur. So I think if you look at outside the United States, a large majority of people actually have Androids. You know, like by far, like percentage-wise, much larger percentage has Androids outside the United States. What Apple also has is the U.S. market. You know, which is really big majority of us here have Apple. You know, like my whole family has Apple. My daughter has Apple. My wife has Apple. I'm kind of, you know, going against the grain here with an Android in my family, but I think it's also the U.S. market is certainly Apple driven. Netflix not holding under 241. We got 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes. All right, so yeah, Apple cut iPhone 14 production right after its debut, according to Reuters. Did you know a house was sold as a real-world NFT for 175K? All right, guys, less than 3 minutes before the earnings drop here. We also have United Airlines earnings dropping at 3:30, at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for United Airlines. Those numbers are dropping as well. We do have Apple up here, so we're gonna look at the SPY here as well. Here's United Airlines. United Airlines at 37.20s. Yeah, all good, Arthur. Like I said, man, I don't want to be too specific, but I understand the upper class market fairly well. If we go by income brackets, my family would probably be considered upper class, to be honest. And so, in that regard, you know, I think you're right in terms of the Apple having a lock on wealthier people, for sure. Right? Most of the people I know around me have iPhones, you know, for sure. I don't know if I know any of them that have an Android. And so I think in that regard, you're correct. But I think it all stems from youth, you know. United Airlines up to 37.28 here. So this is an interesting one. If we look at the actual expectational number, so United Airlines is expected to come in at 221 per share in EPS. They don't drop theirs until 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got about a minute and a half. We have the estimates at 12.62 billion. And we'll see if we get it. Fubo, a good short. I'm not shorting that thing, bro. That's just too risky, dude. There's no way. I'm not shorting it. We're also going to put it in subscriber only mode here, team. So we're going to put it in sub only mode, guys. If you haven't already, subscribe. Numbers are coming out soon. We're going to report them as soon as they drop. United Airlines drops. We're going to put SPY up right now. We also have Interactive Brokers dropping their numbers as well. Again, it might take a second for these numbers to drop, but let's wait. Again, we got about 40 seconds. Netflix at 241s. We got the SPY at 371s. All right, guys, 10 seconds. Netflix numbers coming out. Hopefully they're positive here. I'm holding a couple things. Let's see if they're positive. All right, so let's look for Netflix here. Nothing out for Netflix yet. I know here they did just drop their numbers here. All right, so Netflix just came out with theirs. Hasn't really reacted much to it here. Initially positive reaction up to 250, 254. Huge positive reaction for Netflix. 255 here for Netflix here. So, and then a quick rejection back down. Bear with me. We're finding these numbers out now. Huge rejection here for Netflix. All right, so Netflix came out with third quarter EPS of $3.10 per share. $3.10 per share. Net revenue of $1.4 billion. Third quarter revenue of $7.93 billion. Fourth quarter EPS of 36 cents. They see fourth quarter net revenue coming in at $163 million. They see fourth quarter margin coming in at 19.3%. And again, we're having a positive reaction because again, guidance was positive. Their guidance was good. I think this is what happened with guidance. But again, third quarter EPS came in at $3.10. Which was better than the 211 estimates. So again, we're initially having a positive reaction. It's dragging the SPY up as well. Again, we'll look to see other places to see what they're showing, but so far I'm showing third quarter EPS of $3.10, better than the 211 estimates. Sales revenue of $7.93 billion, which was better than the $7.84 billion estimates. Looking towards guidance. Guidance is fourth quarter net of $163 million, which is good. And again, this is initially causing a positive reaction, but the numbers are out. Again, we're going to put these numbers on screen. Much better than expected EPS, so a big earnings beat for EPS here. So we're going to put these on screen. So again, way better than expected EPS or profitability. You know, we expected 211 or 213. We ended up showing 310, so a full $1 per share. Realistically, about 50% better than expected here. You know, so about 50% better than expected in terms of third quarter EPS, noticeably better. And so that's really solid. Fourth quarter EPS guidance numbers, 36 cents. Doesn't compare to the 112. So their guidance numbers were actually bad here. And again, we'll put the guidance numbers up in chat, you know, right here. But their guidance numbers were not good. Okay, their guidance numbers were not good. Here's the data right here. So again, I think this guidance, these guidance reaction is what's going to be the most interesting. Again, their guidance numbers for the fourth quarter were not as good as initially expected. Again, we showed $3.10 per share EPS, which is profitability, which was much better than the 213 estimate. Sales of $7.93 billion, which beat the $7.84 billion estimates. Netflix sees fourth quarter. Remember that word sees. Sees is a tell of guidance future projections. They see fourth quarter EPS at 36 cents only. Only about 36-cent EPS for guidance for the fourth quarter. Does not compare to the 112 estimate, so noticeably lower. Noticeably lower by about 70% lower than expected in terms of guidance numbers here. They are looking to put an end to the subscriber losing streak. And just to see the data that's coming out, third quarter global streaming paid additions are at 2.4 million. Third quarter global stream paid additions again at 2.4 million. They gained 2.4 million subscribers, reversing the trend here as well. So they did gain way more subscribers here. We're going to put the numbers in chat. Again, good EPS. Here's that number there. They gained 2.4 million new subs. They did a beat on EPS. They did better than expected sales revenue, worse than expected guidance numbers for the fourth quarter, but they did gain 2.4 million new subs, 2.4 million new subscribers here. So that's all very, very positive, of course. Yeah, Netflix. Again, I mean, I told you guys. I thought, listen, stocks do a good job of balance. If they have a really bad couple quarters, you better believe for that next quarter, they're going to do everything and humanly possible to do better, right? They're going to do everything they can to have a positive initial reaction, And so in that regard, you can kind of use it to balance it out. If you got a couple really rough quarters for a company in terms of earnings reports, then you can kind of use it to balance it out and have a reasonable prediction that they're going to do better this upcoming quarter. Remember, if you guys asked me where my bias was, I told you it was on the upside, and we were right. So yeah, great for tech, to be honest. Great for tech. Again, United Airlines drops theirs. Here, we're going to put this number up as well about the subscriber gain, because that is great news. All right, guys. Again, Netflix, really good reaction here. Also, y'all do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We only need 50 subscribers to hit 89,000. Only about 50 subs to hit 89K. And so, listen, we cover all the major economic data. We cover earnings reports, Tesla tomorrow, Netflix today, Snapchat Thursday. We cover all the big ones. We're going to cover the full earnings call as well. We're going to stream the earnings call. We're going to stream all the big stuff that happens here for Netflix. And so, again, if you want to help support the channel, hit that subscribe button, team, if you haven't already. Netflix at 768 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles initially after the reaction. You can also see the SPY react positively here as well. Beautiful reaction here in the SPY. Again, we also have interactive brokers dropping their numbers today. So we do have IB dropping their numbers. Netflix still pumping up to 270s. And this is honestly great for my Disney trade today. Solid for my Disney trade. We're actually going to take a little bit off of our Disney trade just into this strength from this. We'll take 10 shares. All right, we just took 10 shares off. Still just sitting back on it now. Apple, I'm sure, is reacting positively to this as well. And yeah, so we are reacting positively here, moving up. Hey, what's up, Chris? Hey, you know it, dude. Bill Ackman's one of my favorite investors, man. He's solid. I know you're probably trolling me a little bit, but that's all good. Again, still pumping highs here. Again, let's look to see what else dropped. Again, Netflix. Let's cover their numbers fully here. We got a lot of stuff to cover. Fourth quarter net revenue of 163 million. Fourth quarter EPS of 36 cents. Fourth quarter revenue at 7.78 billion. So that's guidance numbers here. Guidance numbers. Total U.S. and Canada streaming paid memberships came in at 73.4 million. Seems a little light, but all good. We're reacting positively. Third quarter revenue came in at 7.93 billion. 7.93 billion. And so, we're seeing a little bit lower expected fourth quarter revenue than in the third quarter. Third quarter total global streaming paid memberships came in at 223.1 million. So worldly memberships, and that's solid. 223 million Netflix subscriptions is essentially what that is. Third quarter net revenue came in at 1.4 billion. Third quarter US and Canada streaming revenue came in at 3.6 billion. Yeah, EPS surprise beat, big beat, 50% better than expected. Came in at 310 versus 211 estimates. So solid here. Solid for Netflix. Netflix had great results, to be honest here. We also have Interactive Brokers and United Airlines. United Airlines dropped their numbers as well here. They dropped third quarter EPS of 281, beat 227 estimates. So here's United. They did drop their numbers as well, ripped up at 38.2 right now, 38.2. So again, here is the United Airlines numbers. They did come in better than expected here. No, I never heard of an author, and it's so hard to vet. I usually just don't let any stuff like that get posted, brother. Sorry about that. I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate the support, but all right, guys. So Netflix having its first larger red candle. United Airline pumping up on better than expected results for UAL as well here. Bear market over. Hey, I hope so, brother. All right, so holding at 270 here for Netflix. Again, we did have better than expected United Airline results. Came in at 281 versus 227 estimate. Yeah, all good, Arthur. But yeah, so United Airlines came in at better than expected. 281 beat the 227 estimate. Sales of 12.9 bill beat the 12.75 billion estimates. Again, we are getting some run-ups here. Netflix hitting 271.40s right now, 271.40s. So, hey, thank you, Chris. But yeah, the airlines came in better than expected. Well, this will have a positive reaction in airlines as well. We also have Interactive Brokers here, which is IBKR. They missed. So Interactive Brokers missed here. We'll put these numbers in chat. Third quarter EPS of 97 cents, missed the 98 cent estimate. Sales of 790 million, beat the 787 million estimates. So again, better than expected for worse than expected for IB, which is IBKR is the symbol. So all right, we're at 272s right now for Netflix, breaking highs again. Again, Netflix doing a little bit better at 272s right now. Hey, what's up, Spawn? Hey, what's up, bro? Now the question is, do you guys want me to? I'll keep streaming until the earnings call. The earnings call doesn't happen until 6 o'clock market time. That was the only problem. Y'all hit the sub button. We need like 35 subscribers to hit 89K. IB Interactive Brokers actually came in a little bit better than expected. We're getting a correction here from Benzinga. A little bit better than expected for IB. EPS 108 versus 98 cent estimates. Sales of 790 million beat the 787 million estimates. So IB actually beat on both metrics as well. I'm wondering if there's a good little dip buy to get involved with too. All right, so what else we had today? We had IB, we had Pinnacle, Hancock Whitney, HCW or HWC dropped their numbers. So HWC, Hancock Whitney beat estimates. They dropped third quarter EPS of 155, beat the 154, slight beat estimates for Hancock Whitney. Third quarter net revenue of 135.4 mil. Beat the, let me see. I know, much worse than expected revenue for Hancock Whitney. So this is actually probably a miss. We got JB Hunt. United Airlines did okay. Again, Apple probably reacting positively on this big bullish action here for Netflix here. So we're up to 144.30s. Yeah, the earnings call can certainly affect the reaction. All right, guys. So Apple started to move up. Netflix breaking highs again. It's at 272.60s here. 272.60s. COMS. Yeah, I don't know this company. Fubo TV. Yeah, I don't know what COMS is. It's a penny stock. This earnings season giving me Q3 of 20 vibes. Expectations and a lot of big beats to come up. I hope so, Chris, man. We'll see if we get something good, dude. Honestly, this Netflix spark is the first really big earnings call that we've had. So it's the first earnings call this week. And we still got some big ones coming out for the rest of this week, man. We got, and again, we had a losing day today in terms of Top Step. We are in the Top Step Combine here, and we're doing pretty solid overall. They are a sponsor of our video, of course, but we're doing pretty solid overall. This is our graph here. So we're doing pretty good in the Top Step Combine. And if you guys want to participate in Inly, they are a sponsor of my videos and my streams earlier. So if you want to check them out, great way to help support the channel. I'll post this link and get 20% off. Basically what they do, the futures market has no PDT restrictions. So it's like if you want to trade these big earnings releases, the futures market is kind of where you can do it. You can get the market reaction. If you look at the E-mini here, let me give you a prime example of this, right? People ask me how to day trade this stuff. Here's the E-mini, right? You can see the positive reaction here. Here's 4:30 or 4 o'clock when the numbers dropped, right at 4 p.m. the numbers came out. Okay, so right at 4 p.m. the numbers came out. So that's 1500 on my clock, right? Here's 1500. Look at the market reaction. You notice this looks the same as this. Okay, look, this is the same type of market reaction. And so you can trade these earnings releases in the futures market with no PDT restrictions. You can day trade, you can short, you can get instant settlement, no PDT in futures. No PDT in futures. And you can day trade and short them in the futures market. Top Step is a funded account program that can kind of give you an introduction into the futures market. They give you a demo if you can hit their target on the demo while following their rules and conditions, and they fund you between 50 up to 150K. We are in the top program here. The base one's only 130 something a month, and you can use my link and get 20% off. They are a sponsor of my video. Check them out. Here is the link. We'll pin it to the top of the chat as well. All right, E-mini popping up. Man, look at Netflix have this beautiful reaction here. Hey, what's up, John? It's Tesla earnings tomorrow. Yeah, John, we are going to stream Tesla earnings for sure, bro. Don't worry. Hey, we need 30 subs. 30 subs. I'm going to just stick around until we get it. You know, Netflix is just ripping up here. Ripping up. We might take some trades, but look at the E-mini just pump. Again, the actual earnings call is coming up in about an hour and a half. I don't know why Netflix makes their earnings call so far away from their earnings report here. I'd love to cover the earnings call, but it's just so far away. Hey, nice SJ. Yeah, I mean, just based off of the 150K, you know, upper class limit out my family would be. Yeah, I'm not even trying to brag. I didn't know what it was, so I was kind of curious when I looked it up. Anyway, I didn't know what the brackets actually were. E-mini pumping up, Netflix pumping up at 277s. Much more than that, Mo, to be honest. In terms of all my income from everything. Hey, thank you, John. Yeah, thank you, brother. What are your predictions for Tesla? Tesla's a little bit, I don't know. Tesla, I hope we get a positive reaction. Disney's still ramping up. It's at 101s. Fubo expected to crush earnings now, too. I don't know about Fubo, man. YouTube, I don't really like to say, Mo. People get bitter and jealous and weird a lot of the time, brother. You know what I mean? Like people get weird and jealous for sure, man. I don't really like to say. You know. Netflix up to 280s. Man, Netflix is not stopping, bro. Netflix is all the way up to 280 right now. Wow. Disney up to 101s here. Man. Finally get a little bit of a pullback here. Again, you can see the E-mini just ran right now. Wow. We did have a losing day in terms of basic stock trading, though. It's all good. Could be worse. Netflix still dipping down. So you got that Amex card platinum. I mean, I don't know, bro. Like I said, dude, like I've done a lot of stuff outside of YouTube. You know, this YouTube started out as a pet project for me, bro. You know. Hey, thank you, Jim. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I would love to pretend that I'm here at the kindness of my heart, and I genuinely want to help people. I think that's self-evident here. But we certainly do this to make money. You know, of course we do. I mean, anybody does. You know, I'm not spending 6 hours here, 7 hours. Listen, I love you guys, but if I didn't make money, I wouldn't do this. You know, this is stressful, bro. You think it's fun? Like, listen, we got people talk smack every day, dude. The best way I can describe it, I've said it before. The best way I can explain YouTube is sitting in front of a crowd of hundreds of people and having just like a small percentage of those people throw peanuts at you. You know, and you got to just try not to yell at them for it. You know. Hey, thank you, Arthur. All right, guys. Wow, Kenny. For which one? Cyberpunk anime? Yeah. They got a lot of good stuff on Netflix, bro. I personally like Netflix's content, dude. You know? I really do. I like Netflix's stuff. Hey, thank you, Tony. All right, guys. So we got a little dip here in Netflix. I'm gonna buy a little bit of Netflix here. Don't judge me here. What do I buy? Like 10 shares of Netflix here. 10 shares. Is this too much? All right, I've been 10 shares of Netflix here. Let me know if you think it's too much. Yeah, I mean, like I said before, the earnings were actually reported here, and this is a good way to kind of have your predictions and do whatever you need to do. But like I said before, the earnings were actually reported. Historically, Netflix would license out really good movies, and that's kind of what made them popular and all that. And that's great. That's great. They would license out like good movies. And at this point in time, while the overall quality compared to like cinema giants in terms of movies is probably a little bit lower than, it's going to be hard for Netflix to compete with some, Martin Scorsese movies and stuff like that. But their basic overall quality of Netflix content has gotten noticeably better. Their self-produced content is getting good, and I think that's an optimistic sign moving forward. I think a lot of people see that. Again, Netflix gets some hate, but I think when you look at it in terms of the content that they are producing now, I think it's solid. The self-produced content is getting good, and as that gets better and better, they are going to continue to do well, in my opinion. Of course, and I think they're just really extended on the downside over the last year. Hey, we'll see, John. Yeah, y'all might be right. I'll probably lose 20, 30 bucks here if I do and cut it. Hopefully we get a bounce up to 280 quickly, though. But if not, I'm just little baby trades, man. The biggest market short squeeze is coming. All right, we'll see. All right, peanuts. And whether that feeling is true or not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't put up hard physical stops just because market makers could be stop loss hunting me. But I don't really think it's egregious. I think people just get frustrated and lose, and then want to blame it on something. I do think they hunt you if they can, but I don't think it happens as much as people make it out to, in terms of stop loss hunting, by market makers. I just don't think it's as common as people think it is. I think a lot of the time market makers are so busy trying to get fills that they don't have time to really focus on stopping. Only maybe the big traders. Oh yeah, I think Hulu's better as well. Don't get me wrong. I think Hulu's much better. All right, guys. And again, we're in this trade. $10 shares of Netflix. I can buy another 10 if I need to. All right, so we're right at this level. I think this level is important. All right, good luck, Arthur. All right, so we're probably gonna cut Netflix. I don't know how much we're gonna sit in this. Again, I'm gonna let it try to stabilize here, but depending on what the market does as well. I guess we had a positive reaction this time around. Again, we're sitting here. I'm trying to be patient with it, but I see the E-mini and the micro pop up. That's good. Tesla earnings call should be fun here, man. Tesla earnings calls tomorrow. We're in Netflix right now. Hey, thank you, D. Hey, good luck, brother. Yeah. I mean, it's all good, man. Like I said, it's a subjective thing. He could say we're trading small. It's fine. You know. Again, I think sometimes people get wrapped up in. I think sometimes people get wrapped up in the culture of trading, and I think sometimes that makes them trade larger than they should be, and they're critical to people who trade small, and that's fine. Well, it's hard trading big whenever you don't have a large enough account to be trading big like you should. No offense to you, but it's hard trading big when your account's small. Like that's the reality of it. If your account's small, it's going to be much more difficult to make real money trading large because the swings are going to be so much more influential over your overall account value relative to where if you got 200, 300K and you're taking swings, then, it's not going to be hard. It's going to be about the same. It's just going to, the difference is you got more cushion to work with. No, I don't have Bloomberg Terminal. Again, guys, we're going to try to let this take its time. The Netflix earnings call is going to be in about hour and a half. Yeah, no, there's not going to be any juicier one than 20%, brother. Sorry, man. Sometimes bigger ones come out, but you'd have to wait for them. They're not out right now. Right, for sure. Again, a lot of people that don't understand my trading think I trade small, and that's fine. What I actually do is I trade often. So it's like, okay, put this in perspective, right? So normal person might take 2-3 trades a day, and they might spend $5,000 in equity on those 2 to 3 trades a day, right? They're $5,000 to $15,000 in equity on those 2 trades per day, right? I probably trade 40 times a day, and throughout all that, I probably throw around $250,000 every day, give or take. And so it's relative, but it also has to do with me trading often. Like I trade 30, 40, 50 times a day. It depends. And so while most people who are used to only taking a couple trades per day, they look at me and they say, "Oh, you're trading small." What they're missing out on is the volume of my trades. Yeah, Bloomberg Terminal's expensive. I'm not paying for it. If I had a hedge fund, maybe, but I'm not going to pay $30,000 a year. I don't need to. I think, from my understanding, it might be useful, and that's fine. And it's a business write-off, so I mean, I could, but I wouldn't be able to show it on stream. And so in that regard, I don't know. I'm just not going to do it, bro. This sun is killing me right now. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm trying to patiently wait. I would be ending the stream already, so if you guys want to hang out, y'all can. But again, I'm just gonna sit back waiting for this to show up. Hey, y'all hit that sub button, hit the notification bell. We need 23 subscribers left. I'm sitting at Netflix. I don't know. I'll probably set a stop loss, guys. We'll see. I'll update you guys on what we get here. Again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. Top Step is a funded account program for futures. You can day trade short using Top Step. You can find the link pinned at the top of the chat. Also, check out. Man, I think I forgot to put the links up. Let me see. I might have forgot to put the links up here. Hold on. Yeah, I did. Also, I'll put the link for Top Step in the description. I'll also link for Chart Prime in the description. Chart Prime is actually really useful. So if you haven't checked it out, be sure to check it out. It's super useful. You can check out the link in the description for Chart Prime as well. Yeah, check it out. I think I'm gonna let this test, but I'm just gonna cut the stream, guys. So hey, if you haven't already, we appreciate you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Okay, we got some good stuff happening tomorrow morning. Sun's in my eyes. Sitting in Netflix right now. We'll see if it rebounds. I see the SPY and the E-mini rebounding here, so I'm gonna sit in it. I'm not gonna cut it yet, but we're getting close to cutting it. Again, patience here, and I think we still got some time to let this go in our direction. All right, guys. Yeah, check out the description, Arthur. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Just refresh the description. You can check them out in the chat too if you need them. All right, of course, SJ. Hey, thank you, guys. Yeah, here's Chart Prime if you want to check it out. Super useful indicator service. Check out the link pinned at the top of the chat. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.